Picture Instruments AI Lab changes how you work with generative AI in Photoshop. Please note that there is also an AI Lab standalone version in parallel, which can be used with the same token plan and which can optionally also interact with new and old Photoshop versions. Back to the plugin. The plugin focuses on three things: clean fitting without image stretching, choosing the right resolution up to real 4K output, and full cost transparency before generation. A visual resolution indicator shows whether a selected model matches your selection, so you don't waste quality, time, or tokens. Optional reference images and a built-in prompt history give you more control and better insight into your results, reducing reliance on trial and error. Let's take a closer look. First, you select an AI model. I'll just choose Nano Banana. Now we can already see that the resolution indicator has turned orange. What is that about? If the indicator is orange, that means either that the selected AI model delivers less resolution than your section to be edited, or, in the opposite case, that you can save time or costs because the AI model delivers more resolution than you need. In this case, the selected 1K model would not deliver enough resolution, because without an active selection, the entire image is taken. The image is 2048 by 2048 pixels. So if you choose a 2K model, the warning disappears immediately. If you want to edit a selection instead of the whole image, you can choose a tool for that here. But you can also use any other tool for creating a selection in Photoshop. Now the indicator warns you, for example, because with Nano Banana Pro 1K, you would save time or tokens and no worse image results are to be expected. So I choose the smaller model and the indicator turns off again. I'll now just write Add Sunglasses as the prompt and click the Edit button. As you can see, the result is now inserted again in the best possible way at the same position of the selection. This works so well when the AI does not change the image content and when the result is also correctly placed again. As of today, January 2026, Nano Banana Pro delivers the best results in this respect. But attention, if you use Nano Banana Pro inside Photoshop, the results are usually not fitted as well as with our plugin. It's best to test and compare that with your images as well, and leave us a comment about what your experience shows. Create and edit are two different functions in our plugin. When editing, the selection or the entire image, if you have not drawn a selection, is sent to the AI together with the prompt, as we just saw in the example with the sunglasses. You can use the Create button if you want to create something new, independent of the current image content. As an example, I'll now create an image of a necklace in front of a white background. If you click the Create button normally with a left click, the result is placed in your active document, or in the selection if you had drawn one. If you want the result in a new document, you can right-click the Create button to open a selection menu where you have to decide on a standard aspect ratio. I'll now create the new image in the document, and in doing so, the plugin automatically selects the most suitable of these available aspect ratios. Since my selection here is closest to 9:16, the AI delivers a 9:16 image, which is fitted as large as possible into my selection. In the Smart object, you always have access to the full resolution as it came from the AI. If you had no selection, the result could extend a bit beyond the edge of the document, if the aspect ratio of your document did not already correspond to a standard aspect ratio. We'll get to working with reference images in a moment, but as an information in advance, the aspect ratio of the reference images has no influence when creating or editing. If you want to save prompts in the history, you simply activate the checkbox for saving. If you want to reuse saved prompts, simply click on the history and select the desired prompt. Then it is transferred directly into the prompt field and replaces a prompt that is still there. Using the trash can, you delete prompts from the history that you no longer need. Up here you can see how many tokens you have already used from your monthly budget. In the Create and Edit button, you can see how many tokens clicking the respective button would require. In models such as the Flux 2 models, you will notice that Create and Edit are not equally expensive, and that the token prices also change when you add or remove reference images. That's because with Flux Point 2, there is an additional price for adding reference images. You can load reference images down here. You can load the current layer of a document as a reference image, a document from your hard drive, or via right-click or alt-click the active document from Photoshop. In the button, you then again see how the token prices have adjusted due to loading the reference images. But as I said, this is not the case with all models. Using the trash can, you remove the respective reference image again. If you only want to disable it temporarily, click on the image and select the first entry. Then the price also adjusts, and the disabled image is also not sent to the AI. Regarding the reference images, it should also be mentioned that these are stored in the plugin with a maximum edge length of 6,000 pixels and are still available even if you have deleted the originally loaded image from your hard drive. If needed, you can load reference images back into Photoshop via the drop-down or save them on the hard drive. Finally, a few general notes about the plugin. If the version number at the bottom right is highlighted in green, that means there is a newer version. Simply click on the version number and then on the download button on the website. By clicking on the token counter, you can see your current subscription. If you have multiple AI Lab subscriptions in parallel because, for example, you have a higher demand, you can access the activation window via the hamburger menu. There, you can simply deactivate one license and activate another. By the way, you can edit this text for each license in My Picture Instruments. This way, you can easily keep an overview of multiple licenses. Have fun working with AI Lab, your focused AI imaging workspace inside Photoshop.